Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to lay out a professional roadmap for your first 100 trades. And look, this isn't just about chasing profits. This is a blueprint for survival, and maybe more importantly, for building the kind of skills that will actually last in the markets. So, let's dive in. So let's kick things off with the one question that, haunts pretty much every single person new to the markets. Why do so many people fail? I mean, is the market just impossible to beat? Well, the answer might not be what you think. You see, the real problem, most of the time, isn't that people don't have good ideas, and it's not that the market is too hard to figure out. The real issue is the lack of a professional process. Too many people just jump in, treating it like a casino, and, well, that's exactly why it all falls apart. Okay, so what does a professional process actually look like? Where do you even begin? Well, it starts long before you even think about clicking that buy or sell button. It all starts with a solid foundation, your pre-trade checklist. Here are the 5 absolute must-dos. First, you have to genuinely understand what the chart is telling you. Step 2, you watch it. You observe it for those recurring patterns, the market's little habits. Third, you get a crystal clear view on the trend without any bias. Fourth, you define your style. Are you in and out fast, like an intraday trader, or are you holding for a few days as a swing trader? And only then, after all that, do you start hunting for a specific, repeatable setup that gives you the green light. All right, so let's say you've gone through that whole checklist. You've found a trade that looks promising. We now arrive at what is, without a doubt, the single most important part of this entire framework. And it's the one thing that most beginners get completely backwards. This quote just nails it perfectly. Profit is a maybe. It's something in the future that you have zero control over. But the loss? Oh, that's real. That money is coming directly out of your account. So your number one job is not to chase some imaginary gain. It's to protect the capital you actually have. Just let that sink in for a second. You don't control the profit. The only thing you truly have control over is how much you are willing to lose. See, the market tells you where the logical stop loss is based on the chart. Your only decision, your only point of control, is whether you're willing to accept that risk. And this brings us to how we actually put that rule into practice. It's all about understanding the crucial difference between the market's risk and your personal risk, and then using that knowledge to size your position perfectly. So first, you have to define your personal loss. This is just a number. It's a hard, fixed rupee amount that you decide on before you even think about entering a trade. It's your line in the sand, the maximum pain you're willing to take. And having this number is the bedrock of a professional mindset. Now here's where it all comes together. The chart shows you its hand, right? It tells you the stop loss is, let's say, 2 rupees away from your entry. And you already know your personal loss is 100 rupees. Well, that's simple math. You can buy 50 shares. You're simply adjusting your position size so that the market's risk fits inside your personal risk box. Okay, that's enough theory. Let's make this really concrete with a step-by-step plan, an actionable blueprint designed specifically for someone starting out with a modest amount of capital. We're going to call it the 100 Trade Blueprint. So let's say we're starting with a capital base of 10,000 rupees. It's a significant amount of money, for sure, but it's not so much that a total loss would be catastrophic for someone who's just learning the ropes. But here's the trick. This is the big mental shift. You have to stop looking at this as one big lump sum of money. You're going to completely reframe how you see your capital. You're going to see that capital as 100 opportunities, 100 chances to execute your strategy, 100 chances to follow your process and learn what the market is trying to teach you. Each trade is just 1 out of 100. And by doing that little piece of simple division, you have just created the single most important rule that is going to govern every single trade you take for the next several months. Your maximum personal loss is now 100 rupees per trade. That's it. No exceptions. Just think about that for a second. 100 rupees. It's a manageable number. It completely removes that paralyzing fear of taking a huge, account-destroying loss, and it frees you up to just focus on executing your plan. And just look at the difference here. On the one hand, you have a typical beginner, maybe dabbling in options, who might risk 1,700 rupees on a single trade. With a 10,000 rupee account, they're literally out of the game after 6 bad trades. But with this blueprint, a 100 rupee loss means you can be wrong 100 times in a row and you are still in the game. This is a system built for survival, not for a quick jackpot. And this brings us to the real point of this whole blueprint, because it's not actually about getting rich in these first 100 trades. The true goal, the real prize, is something so much more valuable than that. You see, for these first 100 trades, your job isn't to make money. It's to train your mind. You're building the psychological muscles of a professional. You're developing the patience to wait for the right setup, the discipline to stick to your rules no matter what, and the genuine confidence that only comes from following a process. You're learning how to survive.
Ultimately, this plan is designed to do one thing: keep you in the game long enough to build up a cushion of profits. Because the biggest wins, the real growth, it happens when you're trading with market money, money you've already won. It's just so much easier, psychologically, to take good risks when it's not your own hard-earned capital on the line.
So at the end of the day, this entire roadmap forces you to answer one simple final question. An approach without any risk management is just gambling. It's buying a lottery ticket and hoping for the best. A structured plan with a focus on process and protecting your capital, well, that's how you start building a real trading business. So which one are you building?